The body of this first-century girl was found in a bog near a village in the Netherlands. The skin features and red hair are still preserved due to the tannic acid in the marsh water. She had a noose wrapped around her neck, suggesting she had been sacrificed or executed. A stab wound was also found near her collarbone. She was about 16 at the time of death and suffered from scoliosis. Manchester University made a reconstruction of her head so we can imagine what she looked like alive. This Iron Age man was found in a peat bog in Denmark. He was probably a farmer. He was naked except for a sheep hide cap, a leather belt, and a leather rope around his neck. The head was preserved immediately after the original examination, but the body was left untreated and became dehydrated. He was strangled either for sacrifice or murder. The bodies of these two men were found in a bog in the Netherlands. They may have died between 160 BC and 220 AD. The man with his arms crossed over his abdomen has a stab wound on his chest from which his intestines have emerged. It's possible he was a prisoner of war. The other brother's manner of death is unknown. Were they soldiers? Were they brothers or father and son? We'll never know, as chemicals in the bog have destroyed all traces of DNA. This man was found in northwest England. He was in his mid-20s and may have been someone of high status, as his body shows little evidence of heavy or rough work. After a last meal of charred bread, he was strangled, hit on the head, and his throat cut due to sacrifice or murder. He died sometime between 2 BC and 119 AD. The University of Manchester made a reconstruction of his face to see what he may have looked like before his death. This man was found in a peat bog in Denmark. The body is that of an adult male dating from the late 3rd century BC. He had dark hair, but this was changed to red because of the bog. His hands were smooth and did not show evidence of hard work. His teeth and jaws indicate he had suffered from periods of starvation or poor state of health during childhood. He was naked when he died. He was murdered as he had his throat cut from ear to ear. His skull has been recreated so we can see what he looked like when alive. The body of this boy appears to have a blindfold tied across the eyes, but the blindfold is a tie used to keep back his shoulder-length hair. The evidence from the body suggests the boy had been murdered, possibly as a sacrifice or a punishment. The body was discovered underneath rocks and branches that were presumably used to hold the body down.